All right. Hello, Knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And as you know, I'm a self-love specialist on TonyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourself and each other. I had a thought that was on my mind. I just finished washing my car and wetting the side of my trailer and really washing my outdoor rug. And so I'm outside. I'm wet because I couldn't get the coupling on the hose tight enough, and I didn't have. My father has this white plastic thin strip that you put on hoses that I guess creates more of a suction kind of thing, or whatever it's called, but it stops the water from squirting out. And so while I was washing this stuff, struggling with this hose, I had a thought and an idea that came to me, because there's a lot of symmetry, a lot of symbolism and symmetry that's been going on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And so I wanted to speak about this because as I was struggling to wash my car and deal with this hose and all this stuff, I thought about my father and all of the tools and the equipment that my father has and how adept he is at taking care of stuff like this, right? And it made me think about the strong black woman trope and a lot of the questions that I've been getting lately. So let me tell you what are some of the... Let me tell you all, Tiffany's saying they're still talking about me. Good, because I'm one to talk about. You know, I mean, look at me, I'm amazing. Who wouldn't want to speak about me? So yeah, so it made me think about this stuff that we've been talking about over the past few days and some of the questions and comments that have been coming up. And I'm going to tell you all a series of different things, and I want to hear your points of view about it. So come on in, thumbs up the video, pull up a chair, get comfortable, and open up your mind, and let's talk and branch out and really kind of try to ponder on this. So this morning I got a comment that came in, and the comment was like, oh, and this was on Instagram. The comment is still there. The comment is on my Queen of the Night picture that I have up. It's looking gorgeous with my chiseled cheekbones sticking out into the night sky. It's a beautiful picture. Go look at the comment. And so the person was basically like, oh, this woman is pregnant. Please take it easy on her. You're making these videos. This is going to cause her undue stress. And this, you should take your videos down. And I started doing what a lot of people, I'm sure, do. And this is, I think, the trap that many of us black women fall under. Because I started thinking to myself, I'm like, take my video down because she's, quote unquote, under stress. I'm like, she's strong. Woman working a full-time job, full-time school, taking care of husband, house, home, and another child. I'm like, she's strong. She got it. Strong woman there, right? And then I caught myself and I was like, wow. Oh, I went into the shade. I was like, wow, listen to what it is I'm saying in my mind. But then I thought, this is the image that they are promoting out there. They're promoting this almighty, strong, powerful woman thing, and then people jump on behind that. And as a matter of fact, so many of us black women feel such a sense of pride from this whole, oh, you're so strong, you're so this, that when you try to tell them that there's another way, they get offended. And even him inside of that broadcast was like, she doesn't want to be a bum because she wouldn't work full time at 9 months pregnant, right? Then somebody else commented, oh, if she were a white woman, we wouldn't be congratulating him. And then I started thinking about it, and I started thinking, if she were white, and he was like, look at my strong wife carrying these big old twins and working and full time and all this other stuff. Then I decided to take it a step further. If she were Asian, a petite Asian woman, up there in a picture with a big old gigantic belly, no maternity clothes, with her black husband sitting there holding up her big belly under his, talking about, look at my wife, strong heart, and taking care of the 5-year-old, this, that, would we be like, wow, this is amazing? Or would we be like, damn son, what you doing? And it all goes to the whole thought of what it is that we have about black women, the strength of black women, what black women represent in our society, and how this strong trope is killing us and continues to get us killed. While I was washing my truck, because I have a big truck, so it took a long time to wash, especially with this hose splashing down all over me, my pants all wet, my shoes are all wet and everything. So then I was thinking, so I had a lot of time to think about a lot of different things. So then I started thinking about where this strong trope takes us and how I thought about that Ethiopian or that East African officer who murdered that white woman in the car because he claimed that he was afraid and startled. Remember, he had claimed he was afraid and startled. He got convicted. His ass, look, because in nobody's mind could they imagine that this white woman scared him or was so scary that he had to act and take action against her deadly force. So he got convicted. But the trope that we have and the narrative that we believe so much about black men, oh, this nigga was standing up. They had to shoot him. He could have taken all their guns. Remember what they said about Rodney King? 6 officers beating him down into the ground because they, in their full whack white masculine glory, right? In their suppressed supremacy. I don't know how to describe it because you ain't that much of a man if there's 6 of you mother effers with bulletproof vests, batons, and guns, plus the training of how to subdue people. 6 of you against 1 man. You ain't that much of a man if you feel that you have to beat him to a pulp in order to stop him from taking all 6 people's guns. Come on, right? So we have this trope of the barbaric black man. He's so strong, and we do this in movies. And tell me, because you know what? Even I love it in movies when the black man is like, he gets up and he's like, ah, right? I love it. I'm like, get up, brother, get up. I love it too, but to what end? Where is this taking us? Where is this almighty, I'm so powerful, I can get up and crush the whole world as a black man kind of thing? And then it translates over to black women, right? So that we're now like, oh, I'm a black woman. And it's like the young lady asked in the broadcast, oh, should I be weak? And I think that if we were, just like when I went into my realm this morning and I was like, why should I take down my video? She can handle it. Strong woman there, right? If what would happen if we black women did allow some of our weaknesses to show and say, you know what? I need help. I can't do this all on my own. I need assistance. Please help me. What would happen if we cried? If we allowed tears to come from our eyes, and if we allowed tears to come from our eyes and allowed us to be able to show our softness, what would happen then? How would people respond to that? Would they help us? Would they laugh at us? Would they say, oh, we need help? Then it started making me think about this whole independent in a relationship mess. Because remember, I told you I had this hose, the water was spraying out. I know that my father has this white strip that I've seen him put around hosing. I don't know what the white thing is called. Some of you out there, like there may be a man out there who knows. So look, if you're a man and you're watching this video, tell me what that thing is called. Because I've seen my father use it and I've never known what it was for before until today when I was like, wow, this water's splashing out. Because I've seen him put it around piping. Tell me what that white thing is called, right? And it made me think about how, yeah, you know, if my pops was around or my brother was around, I would allow them to take care of the heavy lifting of this stuff for me. I would allow myself to fall back and be like, you know what? I'm going to let the men handle this. I'm going to let the people who have the physical strength and prowess, who have the ingenuity to be, I would be like, I would allow them to do that, right? And I would fall back and I would let them do that. But then I thought, what would happen if, because you know I live the RV life. This is my RV right here. My RV is 28 feet long, plus the outside. So altogether it's probably 30, 32 feet altogether, right? And so there have been men who have tried to help me. So, I'm not going to be out here like when I first got started on this, the equipment and stuff was heavy. Like hooking it up to the trailer was hard, and I would ask for help. I would ask men for help. I would, especially with the heavy stuff and with the dirty stuff too, because like some of it was really, really dirty, so I would ask men for help, and the men would come and they would gladly help. Gleeful. Oh, you should see how they run across the park hoping to be able to help. And I allow them to help. And I wonder, what would it look like if we black women didn't always feel like we had to do it on our own? What would happen if we allowed ourselves to get help? But then the caveat is, right? The caveat is not every man who has tried to help me has been able to help. My trailer is very expensive, and it's my home. And when unhooking it from the truck, there was this one guy who, when we were unhooking it from the truck, the trailer fell. Like it wasn't the what you call that thing, the tongue or whatever you call it, was not down on the ground. And the trailer fell because it was unhooked from the truck and the tongue wasn't on the ground. And I had to think to myself, you know what? I have a lot riding on this. I'm accepting help from a person who may not be adept. So what happens if, because I'm like, okay, so if something happens to my trailer, because like when I first got started, there were a lot of men who wanted to help me back up my trailer and get my trailer into these tight spots. And I'm like, well, if the trailer gets damaged, who's going to be at fault or liability, who's going to take care of it, right? Because as you all know, when I was in Guatemala, I was walking with a man when I got robbed. But it was a guy that I didn't know. He was a Caucasian fellow. And as you can imagine from what it is that they may be telling themselves about people of color, that they really don't feel like they can measure up to people of color one-on-one. So I was walking with a Caucasian fellow. I got robbed. And it really dawned on me that not every man is going to put himself on the front line for you if he doesn't, especially if he doesn't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? So then it made me wonder, so how all of this ties in, it made me think, so if the man is not adept and you've coupled yourself, now the person I was walking with in Guatemala, he was just someone from the hostel, but it still made me think. So like a person like him, I would never couple myself with a person who's a weak bum like that. I wouldn't, right? But it made me wonder, so if you couple yourself with a man who's not adept, and let's say you need him to do something, and he is unable to do it, what do you as a woman do? Do you continue to sit back there and just be like, oh, I'm going to let him do this even though he may be doing it in a way that could cause damage? I want to ask you ladies, what is it that you do? Put up the number one. Put up the number one if you allow him to do it in a way that even may cause damage or may mess stuff up. Put up a 1 if you allow him to still do it. Put up the number 2 if you know how to do it, if you will go ahead and do it yourself. All right? Go ahead, put up the 1 if you would allow him to do it poorly and perhaps cause damage. Put up the number 2 if you would do it yourself. And then there is the real conundrum. There's the conundrum. What do you do as a woman? And my thought is that so I'm going to let you, oh God, so the women are putting up the number 2. Listen. Listen. Okay, so you know what? I want the men. Okay, so Anam, we listen. So Anam, we're going to talk about that, right? So I want the men to answer. So men, all of the men on the broadcast, if there's something, you're with your woman, not just any woman, you're with your woman, and there's something that you don't know how to do, right? Put up the number 3 if you would want her to allow you to do it, even if you mess stuff up. Put up the number 4 if you would want her to do it and do it the right way. So go ahead. So we're going to do this survey. We're doing this social poll right now. So we're going to take a look and see. So Jarrell, I don't know if you're male or female, but the men have their own survey to take. So I see a 3 coming up. Right? So come on, men. I need men to come on. Okay. No, women, please do not take the male survey. I see a person named Jackie. IE on the end. I don't know if that's a male person, but listen, I want the men only to take the male survey and the women to take the women's survey, right? So, so men, if you would still want her to do it, let you do it, put up the 3. If you would want her to go ahead and do it, put up the 4. So we got 3 for do it, 4 for her do it. And then for the women, would you let him do it? That's 1. And then if you would do it yourself, do a 2. Okay. So ladies, please open your eyes and take a look. Take a look at what the men are saying. Even if he can't do it well, right? He would still want you to allow him to do it. And I think that for far too many of us black women, we just go ahead and say, oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, just step aside. Step aside, homie. I'm going to do it. And that is not in your best interest. That is not in your best interest. So Anam and I are on the same page. Anam said, find another man. Find another man, right? And so I will tell you all this because a lot of you are like, oh, Tonya, you hate men, this, that, blah, 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 blah. I was raised with my father and my brother, right? And my mother and I was raised with my family. I'm just talking about the men that I was raised with directly. Well, and my uncle too. He lived with us for some time. But nonetheless, right? And I'm going to tell you from what it is that I know about men. Listen, men, I don't know what it is about male nature, but they live to serve us. They take a tremendous amount of pride in being able to serve us and serve us well. Our happiness, our glee, and our joy is like medicine for them. It's like medicine. It fills them so much. And so, and you see, and I have a bunch of women who are answering the male survey, and this is part of the damn problem in and of itself. So let's go forward. Let's go forward. Ladies, find yourself a man that you can trust, who you can entrust, who is adept. So my answer is a combination of what Anam was saying and what you all are saying and what the men are saying, what the women are saying, right? Find yourself a man whom you can trust and then trust him to be able to do it. And even if he can't do it well, allow him to be a man and do it. He'll learn eventually, you know, he'll get it together. He'll get it together as long as he, listen, and if he's the type of man who would do something and participate in something that would F your stuff up, right? That would F your stuff up and not care, he's not the right man for you anyway. Because the right man is going to take pride in the stuff that he's doing. And even if, because you know, you can see when a guy can't really do it 100%. You can see, but you know what? You fall back, you be the woman, and you let him do it. You allow him to do it to the best of his ability, and you make him some lemonade, and you give him a massage afterwards, and you tell him what a wonderful job he did, because the reason why he's doing it is because he wants to please you. He wants to please you, and he wants to impress you, and he wants to be your knight in shining armor, and he wants to do things well for you, right? You sitting up there being like, get that out the way, go sit down, boy. I actually saw a black woman, grown woman. There was this guy. He was he was driving, right? I was hanging out with some celebrities at the time, right? Some A-listers, right? So this guy, he was driving, and we needed to go pick up the celebrity, right, from the party. So she stayed in the party, and we went to go get the car so that we could bring it around and then get her so that she could come down, so the security would just bring her right into the car, right? And it was this woman, I believe she was the celebrity's publicist or whoever, right? And I heard her talk to a grown man. He was in the driver's seat, and I don't know what it was that was happening. I think he was stuck behind some cars, and he wasn't coming around fast enough, and the celebrity was coming down, and we had to move. She came up to him and was like, boy, if you don't get your ass out of the... And I was like, she's talking to a grown man this way, calling him a boy, telling him to get his ass out the drive. And I was like, God, that's brutal. I was embarrassed for him. And this all goes back to my whole point. Black women, we have got to fall back. We have got to rest in our feminine. We've got to align ourselves with men who are adept and equipped and trust them. And we have got to fall back and allow them to be men, do their thing, allow them to take care of us, allow ourselves to be taken care of. Because when you make it seem like you don't need help, you don't get help. You don't get help. My father would often say, right? My father would often say, because my father has 3 kids. And so he would say, listen, I encourage the strong and I help the weak, right? And so one of the things that I would see, and like so now, even nowadays, I have male friends who'll be like, oh, Tonya, I don't worry about you. You got it. You could do it. And I'm like, listen, no, I need help, mother effer. What you talking about? I need help. I don't take that as a compliment. Like, nah, I'm not gonna worry about you. I'm not gonna give you help. You got it. No, no. So, ladies, please allow yourself to fall back. Rest in your feminine and allow men to be men and do men things, and you reap the rewards and the benefits of being feminine and being taken care of. Because trust, you align yourself with the right man. He lives for taking care of you. He wants with all his heart and soul, and what it was that he was placed on this earth to do is to take care of you. So allow him. So Sharona's saying, next story, please. This is the story. This is the whole purpose of the video. Because we have women out there, black women, and this is how this stuff happens. We see all of these news reports about black women getting punched in the face and beat up and choked and dragged down to the ground and all this other stuff. Ladies, sometimes we need to listen. Like I said, I was raised with men. So I know my limitations. I ain't gonna be out here in no man face talking about, no. When I see that a man starts getting angry and his voice starts raising and the cobra back starts flaring out, I ain't no fool. I'm out of there. I'm gone. Especially when these men don't know you. They don't have no reason to protect your black ass. Some of them will pummel you. Take your black ass on. You don't need to be up there in no man face. Go on. Get to stepping. This is why it's like all of these different images and ideas that, because I've seen, I'm from New York. So I see women who think that they gully and think that they gangster and they brolic and all of this, and they want to get up in grown man face and they want to this, that, and the other. And I'm like, nah. You fall back. Fall back. You don't be out here arguing with men. He's stronger than you. He will hurt you. And it's like I seen them. I don't care about nigga. I'll do. That ain't feminine. Fall back. Just be like, hey, you gotta leave. Get out of there. Don't be up there in grown man face. When you see that, when that bass starts, the heavy bass starts coming down, you got nothing to prove. You don't have to prove your masculinity. Go on. Just leave the situation. Sometimes we got to know when to, and go get a man to fight your battle. And so this is what I'm saying. We got far too many of us who put out that strong woman trope. And then we get surprised when we receive back the reflection of that strong woman trope. And so my battery is getting ready to die. So that is our cue that it is time. And my clothes are almost dry. So what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on and jump out of here. And so James is saying, you know so much not to have a man. You think I live in a world with only women? I told you first. You think I don't date? You think I've never had a relationship? And you don't know what's going on behind the scenes in my life right now. You know what I mean? A lot of what it takes to really make it in relationships with men, women, friends, family is emotional intelligence, self-love, boundaries, respect for yourself and other people. So basically what it is that we're talking about right here are the very nuanced differences of how we show respect. of how we show respect. So listen, you all say we got a couple of trolls. I'll take care. Who are the names of the trolls? Let me get rid of them. I'll get rid of them. Just put the names. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll just scroll through the comments and I'll get it. So listen, I will see you all in the next video. Continue to send me topics. We will continue to go forward and continue to speak. Is James one of those trolls? Listen. All right. And so here we go. Let me get rid of some of these people. It's like as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. Look, let's go. Let's go. So anyway, listen, on that note, we listen. Listen, okay, I'm going to get rid of him. I don't typically block people, but I'll go ahead and I'll get rid of him. I'll get rid of him. All right. There we go. It's simple because you know what? You could come and you could show your behind and you could get gone. You know what I mean? Come show your behind, get gone. You'll never be able to comment again. I'm going to have this page for until infinitum. So forever, for the rest of your existence, you'll never be able to comment again. So listen, on that note, I want you all to answer the question. If she were a petite Asian woman, belly bursting full of 2 children, and a man was bragging about how hard she works, would we be praising him, or would we be like, what's going on? Because of our own interpretation of how we interpret this group of women's femininity. So that we're like, oh, as a black woman, yeah, she's strong. But if we knew this woman to be petite and feminine, would we still be praising her? Uh-oh. Look, the battery is about to go. So let me hold on. I gotta. Oh, we're going to leave. We're gonna lose the broadcast. All right. So listen, I will see you all in the next video. I gotta go plug up, and I'm gonna go plug up, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace.